So what is going on? Where does this come from? And why do we say l'chaim as a drinking salutation? Okay? So before we get into that, just want to make sure that everything is good. Okay, yes. We are live and it is going, so that's a good thing. Thank you for tuning in. And before we go live, I just want to bring to your attention something really cool that's available for this upcoming semester for students at UCF, that I will be doing a Kabbalah class for Judaic studies at UCF. And this time around, I've done it in the past, it was an in-person class, but this time around it's going to be a totally online class. That means you don't have to commit to certain hours during the week. It's just every week you get a module, you get a week's of information, some videos, some discussions, really cool, special opportunity to learn the deeper dimension of Judaism and to learn about Kabbalah, and not just Kabbalah as deep information that's out there, but with practical implications of how it can make your life better. For example, we will learn who we are at our core. We will learn that failure is not an anomaly in the design of creation, but a tool through which we reach our highest form of success. And we're going to be talking about concepts like how to overcome weakness and learn to control our behaviors, align our reason and emotion to reduce stress and live decisively, develop useful perspectives to generate a positive attitude, use your weaknesses and opportunity to make your unique contribution to the world. Okay? See only the good in everything, even in things that are very negative. Push your limits to redefine the possible. Question the foundations of perceived perception of religion, and so much more. And this is all available in the Kabbalah class that we're going to be having this fall semester at UCF, and I would love for you to be a part of it. It's filling up quickly, so if you want, you can go to my.ucf.edu and sign up for our Kabbalah class. It's going to be a lot of fun. You can take it at your own pace, so to speak. It doesn't have to be committed to a certain time during the week. You have the whole week to do the module, and it's going to be good times. So if you can, or you're interested, please join and do it quickly so you get a spot, because space might run out. Okay, so now to our question at hand. Okay, why do we say l'chaim as a drinking salutation? So saying l'chaim by taking a drink goes back at least to Talmudic times. We see in the Talmud tells us that Rabbi Akiva made a feast for his son, and for every cup that he poured, he said, wine and life to the mouths of the sages. Life and wine to the mouths of the sages and their students was the toast he would give all the time. Thank you for joining us, Lauren. Thank you for joining us, Elizabeth. Let us know where you're watching from, where you're tuning in from, what's going on. Hope you're enjoying and be a part of it. So you see Rabbi Akiva would give this toast when he made a feast for his son, l'chaim. He would say, wine and life for the mouth of the rabbis, or the sages, wine and life to the mouth of the sages and their students. So, of course, it's always a nice thing to wish people life and health. But there's something more to this. At what turned this into a standard salutation, a standard greeting? When you drink, you say l'chaim. So actually, in some communities, in many communities around the world, when we make Kiddush on Friday night, the person reciting the Kiddush says, Savrim Ranan, and everybody screams out, L'chaim. Right? So, like Savrim Ranan is a question, and the answer is L'chaim. What is this question that we're answering when we say L'chaim? What is Savrim Ranan saying? Okay? It used to be actually that people would respond L'chaye, which means same thing as L'chaim, to life. But what's going on? What's the question? Why when we say Savrim Ranan, when we're making Kiddush, does everybody shout out L'chaim? So, what's this response to the question? What's going on over here? So the Abu Draham, Rabbi David ben Yosef, known Abu Draham, lived in the 14th century, and he explains and he gives some insight into where this L'chaim thing comes from. One way of looking at L'chaim could mean like saying yes. Basically, Savrim Ranan means, are you guys ready? You ready to make Kiddush? Right? You guys are paying attention, you're active, you're alert, you're paying attention. Because when you hear Kiddush, you're supposed to have in mind that you're wanting to hear the Kiddush. And therefore, Savir Anan, L'chaim could be like saying yes. The person leading the Kiddush is saying, are you guys ready? And L'chaim could mean yes. That's one way of looking at it. But that wouldn't answer our question, why we are saying L'chaim whenever we grab drinks with friends. Another thing that it could be is that David Abu Abraham says that he heard another explanation, and it follows Talmudic view in the Tractate of Brachot, page 40, side A, that the forbidden fruit that Adam and Eve, the forbidden fruit that they ate, according to some opinions in the Talmud, was a grape. And as a result of eating from the forbidden fruit, death was decreed upon humankind. Right? God said, the day that you eat from the fruit, you will die. That means until they ate from the fruit, they were destined to live forever. Death was introduced by Adam and Eve eating from the forbidden fruit. So, therefore, the person making the Kiddush, the reciter of the Kiddush, says, Savrim Ranan. He's saying, guys, do you agree that this cup should be for life and that it should not be for death, as it was for the grapes that Adam and Eve consumed? And they answer L'chaim, which means, let it be for life and not death. So essentially, while we say Savrim Ranan, the leader is saying, should this cup of wine be different than the original? The original time man enjoyed grapes or the product of grapes. It led to terrible consequences. So let us hope and pray that this time around it leads to life, and everybody that's in the group responds and says to life. Let it actually be to life, and that is where it comes from, according to Rabbi David ben Yosef, the Abu Draham. And when we read about a bit further in the story in Genesis, in Bereshis, we see the story of Noah's drunkenness that ensued from wine, and the results which resulted in a terrible reality. And we also read a bit later when Lot, Abraham's nephew, drinks wine and he gets drunk, and the incest that follows a few chapters later. So we see time and time in Jewish tradition that wine can lead to very negative outcomes. This is why in the Jews in the time of the Rabbi David Abu Draham in the 14th century said L'chaim after when people were drinking wine during Kiddush, for the same reason that Jews say L'chaim even without being prompted by a question for other occasions of drinking wine. At some point it was expanded to every time we take an alcoholic consumption, and any alcohol, and the truth is, according to some opinions in the Talmud, that the fruit that Adam and Eve enjoyed was actually wheat, and most alcoholic beverages come from wheat, so we still get the same concept, is that in the origins of alcohol, of wine and alcohol, or not even just first of all, in the origins as we see it in the Torah, it has led sometimes to very terrible outcomes. And in general, in life, we all know that alcohol can be abused. And when alcohol is abused, it can have devastating consequences. At the same time, everything that God created was created for a purpose. For some people, saying l'chaim can be helpful in various ways, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, under the right circumstances. Saying l'chaim can be very helpful. Otherwise, for other people, saying l'chaim can be very dangerous. It could lead to very negative consequences. So when we say l'chaim, it's really a reminder, reminding us that what we're doing right now, when we say l'chaim, we're taking drinks, we're doing a toast, we are using a product, we're doing something that can go very well one way or terribly the other way. Alcohol can be something that lightens the mood, that brings people closer, that makes you have a more deeper spiritual experience or whatever it is, but also has the opportunity to be abused and used for horrible things and to bring a person lower than they can ever fall. And when we're taking alcohol, we need to be reminded of its very potent power and the ability of it things to go very, very right or very, very wrong. And therefore, when Jews sit around and give a toast, they say they're going to take a l'chaim or drink some wine, they say l'chaim. Let us remember that this drinking should be for good and positive reasons, and God forbid, not the opposite. It's one of these steps, so to speak, to ensure that we drink mindfully and purposefully, so it'll only lead to positive results and not end up with terrible consequences. So, l'chaim. Alcohol, to summarize, alcohol has a dual power: to be utterly destructive or spiritually uplifting. Saying l'chaim is a reminder of the fact that it can go either way, and a blessing that we wish each other. We should make the right choice and drink mindfully and purposefully. And that wraps up our question for the day, why we say l'chaim. And next time you say l'chaim, remember this is a built-in reminder to make sure that we are drinking with purpose, we're drinking for the right reasons, we're drinking for camaraderie and a mitzvah. You know, every mitzvah that we do in Judaism, if you know, from a bris, you have wine, to bar mitzvah you have wine, at a wedding you have wine, every holiday has wine, because wine is a special thing, and God gave us the world to enjoy. But we have to be mindful that we are using the world properly, and we're bettering ourselves, our families, and our communities, and not, God forbid, abusing it and destroying our lives, our families, and communities. So l'chaim, to life, to health, to joy, and to being mindful, not just when we're drinking, but every moment in life. When we live mindfully, we live more fully, and we bring more blessings upon ourselves and all those around us. Thank you for joining us for today's installment. That wraps up our question for today. And tomorrow we will be back with another question. And the next question that we're going to be asking is, why are the Jewish holidays always late or early? If you follow the Jewish calendar, you'll realize sometimes Passover comes really, really early in April, or sometimes really, really late in April. Rosh Hashanah sometimes comes really, really early in September, or sometimes very late in September. They're either early or late. They're always moving around. Why is it that we can't just decide on one date for it and keep it that way? Why does it move back and forth in the calendar? Why is it always early or late? So that's the question for tomorrow. Please tune in, and we will address that. Otherwise, you could always watch these videos during the live stream, or it's always on Facebook, also on Twitter with Periscope, and also available on YouTube. You can go to youtube.com/Chaim Lipsker, or just search Chaim Lipsker on YouTube, and you can see all of the classes we've given there. They also go live there as well. You can get notifications there as well. Thank you for joining us. Again, a reminder about our Kabbalah class that we will be offering, that we will have. I will be giving in the fall semester 4 credits, 3 credits you get, and it's a totally online course that you can do at your own pace through the week. There's no specific time for meeting. We have short videos, 10, 15 minutes long each, so you can do it in small installments. The course code is JST3210. Space is limited and it's running out, so please join us and be a part of it. You'll learn fascinating insights in the Kabbalah and how to better your life and live your life more fully. And also, as our daily plug for our summer raffle, which is going on right now, you could win awesome prizes while supporting Jewish life at UCF. You could win $10,000, 2 tickets to Israel, or $3,500, $1,000, $500, or $1,000, or $360. All of these prizes were generously donated. Every penny you donate, every raffle ticket is $36 and goes to help Jewish life on campus at UCF and Valencia. And one final plug is Shabbat to Go is back this week. We were gone for 2 weeks. We didn't do it. Shabbat in a Box is Shabbat to Go is back, but it must be ordered by Wednesday night, and pickup will be on Thursday, not on Friday. Pickup will be between 12 and 1:30 on Thursday. If you need an alternate time, you could let us know and we'll make it work as well, but pickup will be Thursday, not on Friday. Otherwise, have a wonderful day and hope to see you all tomorrow on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube. And also, hopefully soon enough, we'll see each other in person as well. L'chaim, to life.